Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Keith Rowe with Vital Healing. This week, I wanted to share a check-in from the farm and take a look around Piney Creek as winter settles in. We are currently in the middle of December, and after a few months of moving back and forth between fall and winter, it feels like the cold has finally arrived to stay. A few days this week, the temperature barely rose above freezing, and along the creek, a thin layer of ice has formed in areas where the water is barely moving. And out in the fields and along the edges, you can see the canola plants and grass that has been bitten back by the cold and is a little bit wilted. And as I look around, most of the leaves have fallen from the branches and the trees stand bare. And so it's easy to see how much the landscape has shifted. Around here, the winter does not usually arrive all at once. We tend to move through a long in-between season to where we'll have several warm days and then a cold snap. And then it'll warm back up. And we will repeat that cycle for most of the fall. And this year has been a blessing. We've had an extra long and gentle fall. We've really only had one other cold snap up until this point. It's been fun to be able to have some extra time outside without having to bundle up from the cold. And as Letty and I were walking the path this morning, I noticed some clear signs of that shift. And one of those are the frost flowers that are showing up on old stalks of frostweed. It's a weed that grows freely along the edges of the fields and the maintained areas throughout the summer. And it'll get tall and thick. And by this time of year, the plants have died back completely, leaving only the brittle stalks. And when the air temperature drops below freezing, and when the ground is still holding moisture, those dried stalks become part of a simple physical process, acting almost like a straw, pulling water up from the soil, and then it will freeze as it reaches the stem, and when it does, it begins to expand. And it'll push its way out through the small cracks in the stalks. It forms this thin ribbon of ice that you can see here. They're very beautiful and fun to look at. They'll break as soon as you touch them, and they'll melt away as soon as the morning sun gets up and temperatures begin to rise. As Letty and I walk along the creek, she ran out onto a large tree that fell across Piney Creek a couple of months ago. She likes to go out there and look around for ducks that will gather in that area. If you look below her, you can see that thin layer of ice resting on the surface of the water. After we finished our walk, we went back to the workshop. Winter has been shifting our work a little bit. On these cold days, we've been working in the workshop, building bluebird boxes and wood duck boxes. We'll cut each box out and assemble it. And then this year, I decided to burn simple line art designs into the front of the boxes. It makes it more fun and decorative. They'll be going up over the next couple of weeks, and they'll be ready before spring arrives. As we bring this to a close, I will leave you some footage from around the farm this week, and you can see the boxes that we've been building and catch some glimpses of Piney Creek as winter settles in. I'm enjoying these slower days and quieter work and learning to welcome the pace. There's time to notice what needs tending and to prepare for what comes next. I hope that you're finding your own version of that stillness wherever you are. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Until next time.